Vintage versus modern, gas versus electric, simple versus complex. When it comes to overlanding, there's no shortage of opinions on which is best. So, my buddy Jason and I teamed up with the boys at Midwest Adventure Outfitters to take two early 80s Toyotas, a Rivian and my Tacoma, out into the Ozarks to answer that question. What we learned just might surprise you. If you guys car camp or overland or do any of this type of stuff, and you are a part of any of the online groups, forums, or any sort of community like that, you know that in this community, there is no shortage of strong opinions. Everybody thinks they're doing it the right way. It's the my way or the highway kind of mentality. And I've always been kind of laid back when it comes to this stuff. Like, I'm always kind of like, do it the way you enjoy doing it. And so I had kind of a crazy idea for this video. What if we got some vintage budget, rigs, some old Toyotas, which are just the coolest things in the world. And we paired that with kind of a sort of modern truck like mine, 19 Toyota Tacoma. But then we brought in the newest of the new, the Rivian, an EV, and we brought us all together to sing Kumbaya in the woods. I just thought it would be too much fun to give this a shot. And so that's what we're doing. We're gonna have fun putting this together. It's gonna be something totally different. We continued down Flag Gap Road to the Mulberry for a pit stop and coffee break. The weather was perfect for a warm drink along the riverbank. We took a minute to relax and wait for the rest of our crew.
Drifting in between darkness and kerosene. Storm made quick work. The power line down the street.
This is Scott's 1983 Toyota pickup Deluxe. It showed up at Midwest Adventure Outfitters with no air conditioning and no power steering, which is fine if you hate comfort. Mayo fixed that. Now it's got AC, power steering, working lights all the way around, a tailgate that actually stays put, a horn that yells, and a vintage radio with exactly one speaker. Classic. They even finished it off with some brand new old stock rain guards. And then there's Patrick's 1986 Toyota Tercel SR5. 6-speed manual transfer case, front wheel drive until you tell it not to be. Yep, it's full 4x4. The burnt orange beauty makes 62 horsepower, has over 300,000 miles, still has working AC and cruise control, and power windows that Toyota never intended to exist. It sat for 20 years before Patrick brought it back to life. Bolted on a winch, bumper, lights, and straight sent it. 2 Toyotas, 0 quit. Built by Mayo. Let's freaking go. Meets modern. The boys joined Jason and I on the Hurricane for steaks, cigars, bourbon, and all the vibes. Crispy mornings in the Ozarks. Come on with it. It's something special. It's chilly right now. The wind is coming off the hurricane and, it's getting cold. It's starting to feel like winter now that we're in January. But yeah, incredible night. Just such a cool vibe having these old Toyotas, having the new EV and of course, my truck. I had never done something like this. Of course, we've had guys from all different income levels and vehicle types that we've done trips with, but we've never intentionally picked something like from the 80's, and the, 2020, and then the current 2026 EV, which by the way, Jason had to head home. This is not the last you're gonna see him in this video. I know you didn't really see him much in the video other than our little coffee sequence down in the Mulberry, but I'm going to go to his house. So he brought a ton of really cool old school cameras on this trip, like 1970s film cameras. Then he brought some super modern high-end digital stuff, shot a ton of photography. So in a couple days, I'm gonna give him some time to get home and edit. And then in a couple days, we're gonna go up there. But it's gonna be part of this video, so just stick with the video and you'll get to see that. Yeah, I think this might be why I do it. These slow moments in the morning when you wake up, and especially when you're on water. Crispy morning, dude.
Caleb, what's up?
What's up, dude? How often do people show up at your house?
Come on through.
Stick a camera in your face.
Yeah, let's just run with it.
Let's do it.
All good.
So we are in Jason's creation space, which is rad. One of the things we were doing on this trip that you guys may have not noticed was getting a bunch of awesome photography. Jason takes killer stuff. He shot film, digital, all the goodies. And I wanted to come over here and show you what he's working on. So,
yeah,
dude,
let's do it.
Let's check it out.
The cool thing over here is this massive Canon 1100 printer I use to print. I got this last year and it really has opened up a lot for me in the photography world, just to print your prints. I hang prints from people I love on my walls, and I'm like, I take photos for a living, basically, I should print my own photos. And it just really does change the game. You know,
it does.
You know, you can give them away to friends. Like, obviously, I'm going to give this one to Caleb of the Tacoma.
So sick, man.
That was, I was sitting around the campfire when I shot that. I was like, that looks pretty sick right now. And the lighting was changing. So let's shoot this. So, and then if you look over here, I got some smaller 4x6s of the other Toyotas we had on the shoot. Just the campfire setting, the orange Tercel there, the way that orange kind of popped. And then this one was actually out of the front of my car, driving down the road.
The lighting was just so crazy on that whole trip. Like with the fog and everything.
The fog was amazing. This was after, I think at this point, you were maybe even flying the drone in front of your car.
That's right.
So it was fun.
Before the crash.
I was like, he's doing everything.
Show us some of the camera stuff that you shot with on the trip.
Oh yeah, cameras.
Cameras.
So the Hasselblad is one of my babies here. This is a 1977 500 CM. So this is the same camera that NASA took to the moon to photograph in the 60s, all those shots back of Earth. They rigged a special one up. These film backs only have 12 rolls in them, 12 frames per roll of film, medium format. And so for NASA, they built like a new one that could shoot way more frames, because you don't want to go up there and be changing film every 12 shots when you're, in space. So this is the Hasselblad. I shot some on this. I'm getting that developed currently. It has a really cool waist level viewfinder you pop out. It's fun.
So
it's a fun old camera. The one that I used a little bit and really matched the vibes of the shoot was this guy here, the Canon 81. So this is from the 80s. I think this particular serial number is 83 or something like that.
I didn't realize that was from the 80s. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Like that we're shooting those rigs, kind of doing that whole vintage thing. Mm-hmm. And you had that
vintage gear. Yeah. So I love this camera. It's been fun. I got this through a friend who was passing it along. And then obviously most of my shots on this trip were taken with the Leica. So this is a very modern, high megapixel, 60 megapixel digital point and shoot fixed lens. So this is kind of my baby, my everyday shooter.
Dude, so sick.
Good times.
My daughter said, that looks like AI. It looks too perfect.
Yeah. the back of the Tercel.
Bro.
Midwest Adventure Outfitters stickers looked really cool on that orange.
Oh,
the orange of the case and the orange of the Tercel kind of going off. This was we're getting close to that one. That was kind of the hero shot of the day, honestly.
That's so cool.
The way they pulled in, it was just like, okay, this is working.
Totally not staged, but it was perfect.
This is my other favorite one, just to show off kind of my rig and your rig together hanging out.
Look at that. With the color of the ground and then the sky.
Yeah, I really like how the sky fades into that brown and then our trucks sit there together. That's kind of a cool vibe. This one, obviously, of Caleb into the woods. That was driving.
Oh, dude, I love that.
You were probably droning at that point as well.
Oh, yes. Bro.
That was that first water crossing we hit. And I think you were putting your drone up and I was like, I like how your truck's kind of just like at a little angle and mine's at a little angle. It's just cool.
It is so cool. Like, the way the light's hitting or the light coming off your headlights looks sick too.
Yes. With video, it's like you point the camera somewhere, you're going to see something interesting.
Yeah.
Whether that's a fire in the middle of the night or like water or like something from the sky or the way our trucks looked in the rain. It was raining.
Yeah.
So you get kind of this you can see like this wash coming.
Oh, right. So cool doing this with like a legit photographer, because I haven't done like a lot of the stuff that I work with is guys shooting video. So going out and then like getting to see these little moments that are like framed properly, and it's not like a screen grab or a screenshot from a video frame.
Yeah.
It's different. It's a whole different thing.
I think I have a shot if I can find it here of Benji. Well, actually, here's some cool, Ozarks. Look at this guy. Who's that guy?
He's way too happy to be.
He's looking excited. But the Toyota truck and the way, Benji, I think I have a shot of him pumping gas. Maybe that. Of him just kind of like chilling in Ozarks there.
Dude.
There was like Shores Lake there.
Oh, that place is beautiful.
I edited some of these, but let's see. there. Like Benji was he was like taking photos of the leaves and stuff. The pine trees. That was a cool view of that lake. Yeah. I've never been to that lake, and I live here, so.
I know it, man.
It's fun.
So many hidden gems out there. So if you guys want to hire a killer photographer, redbarnstudio.net. Check it out.
The .com is an art gallery in Lindsborg, Kansas.
Okay, so if you see that is not what you want.
.net.
Let's talk EVs. So I think there's a lot of misconception in kind of the off-road overland space when it comes to EVs. Like my wife and I, we just bought an EV, not for the intent to, kind of off-road and stuff, but it's very possible to do it. I think one of the big misconceptions that I've encountered is range. It's this concern of like infrastructure and charging. So let's talk nuts and bolts. Like what was, when you left your house, what was your current range?
Yeah, so I've had my Rivian for a few months now, and so I've never gone to 100% because you don't do that with an EV. You keep 70 and 80. So my first 100% charge, I got to 348.
Wow.
On my quad motor, large pack.
That's so crazy.
So 348, I felt really good about that.
Yeah.
Going just down to the Ozarks, which is not too far from here, right? Mm-hmm. So I left my house here in Springdale to get to your house in South Fayetteville at 348.
Then we looped down, then we went up Morgan Mountain. We did that whole ridge run, hit the pig trail, looped down. We went pretty far east to Ozarks Cafe, which is where we shot Benji's stuff. Yep. And then we went all the way back to Shores Lake, which is on the far western side, going towards like Mountainburg and Fort Smith and that stuff.
Right. And then I left that night. I left early because I had to be home. I entered my garage here in Springdale with like 230, 220 something. So I was still sitting pretty good.
And so even if you hadn't been 100% charged, or if you're in an EV with like a shorter range, we've got enough infrastructure in Arkansas at this point that you can drop down to what's Ozark.
Ozark has a Tesla supercharger. So I was not ever that far from Ozark down there.
That's cool.
If I got in a pinch. I will say when I did kick it into quad motor, 4-wheel drive mode for like some of the heavier stuff we did. Yeah. I saw the range literally went right. And pushed it down a lot. But I was in dual motor drive, front wheel drive most of the trip because we weren't doing anything too wild.
Most of this, even the trips that I do though, like it's weekend stuff. So it's like, I have the ability to bring extra fuel, but rarely am I doing a trip that's like a week long where we're covering tons of ground where I have to refuel on the trail.
I'd be curious if we ever link up for like a big Colorado or out of state trip, how I would be able to handle in my Rivian, because I would need to be full bore going into some backcountry. I would need to hit something. And they're all, I-70, all those major interstates are chock full of supercharging. Yeah. But once we peeled off, I would need to be pretty set for, I don't know how many miles you would normally do on a backcountry trip like that off of the main.
Yeah. I mean, different guys are different ways. If you're the type of dude that when you do these trips, you want to be like fully remote and completely off the grid for like a week at a time, then an EV is probably not the answer for you. Unless maybe you're looking at like what they're talking about with the Scouts or something that have the ability to have a gas generator. But that's not, most of the guys that I know, we're like, hey, let's do 3 days and then hit town, eat at a restaurant, use a bathroom, that kind of stuff. So and I think that's the majority of people. So, I mean, technically,
if I got to a 340, 350 type of charging status before hitting the backcountry, you're probably not going that many miles on those back roads.
No, it's slow miles.
Slow miles.
It's slow miles, so it's not. The real thing that would be fun to test with your rig at some point would be to go, well, we kept it pretty moderate for this. We were driving client vehicles with the Toyotas and had the Rivian out on its first kind of trip. I'd be interested to see with some of the off-road modes that it has, how it could handle, there's a trail going to 60-foot fall, so it's a pretty gnarly trail. Like you have to get spotters, and I bet it could do it.
I think it can. I've seen guys on YouTube doing some crazy stuff out in Arizona at Sedona. So more good crawling stuff. I'm new to this, so I'm kind of like, Let's see if it'll do it. I think it will.
There's a spot out in, I think it will too. There's a spot out in, oh man, it's a famous Moab like climb. Mm-hmm. It's called like Hell's Revenge or something. I can't remember what it is. Someday. But I saw a video of a Cybertruck climbing that thing and just going straight up it.
Yeah. So. I mean, I will say the modes have names, and sometimes you're like, sand mode or, rally mode or whatever. Mm-hmm. And you're like, whatever. But I did get in that little sand situation.
Yeah, you did.
And I couldn't turn. And I was like, hold on a second. Mm-hmm. I think I have a literal mode called soft sand.
Yes.
I pressed it, the graphics changed, and I went right on my way. I was so like, cool. Okay.
Like, I love that moment too, because I didn't get this on camera, and I wish I had, but Benji had to get out because he was getting stuck.
Saw that.
And he had to switch into 4-wheel drive, which in that old 83.
Is that what he was doing? I didn't know what he was doing.
You gotta lock the hubs. Literally, that's how you put it 4-wheel drive.
I was like, is he airing down? Like,
no.
What's he doing? He was locking his hubs.
He was locking his hubs.
Wow,
that's how those work.
That's cool, because he was in that sand right in front of me.
Yeah, he got stuck.
And I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
And I tried to go, and you just feel this, like, there is, in an EV with that, the way the accelerator feels like, like a golf cart, you're like, this is weird. I'm cranking on this, and I got nothing.
Yeah.
But as soon as I hit that soft sand mode, away I went.
I climbed right through it. I think, too, one thing that I noticed on this trip, that all of the vehicles we brought all have a very, like, different vibe and a different kind of a place in the space. Like, I love it all. Like, there's this classic character and, like, nostalgia that you get from the older rigs that you just don't get in newer trucks. Even like mine in like a 19. So my vehicle would be like in the middle of like the Rivian and it's a different kind of simplicity when you got to hand crank the windows and you got to like,
get out of the car to
pump the gas when you turn the key. Exactly. Get out of the car. And there's something about that I think that a lot of people like. Like I've noticed, even sharing a few clips from that, a lot of people are like, dude, this took me back, and like reminds you of a childhood or whatever.
But at the end of the day, all of us on this trip were sitting around the same campfire at the same location, having the same good time we were having.
Yep.
So
that's it.
Get there how you want to get there, right?
That's it. The campfire is a unifier, man. That's something that I've said multiple times. Like the guys that I go on these trips with, it's a lot like a bar or a lot like a church. Yeah. There's the same kind of like, I don't know that I would be hanging out with this group under any other circumstances.
Totally.
There's like as far conservative, as far liberal. There's the hippie crowd and there's the hunting crowd.
Fire
we're all sitting around a campfire.
Fire just brings everybody together.
It does.
I love it.
Yeah,
we had a great time. Thanks for letting me tag along. I hope to do it again.
For sure, man.
It's a good time.
This has been such a fun video to shoot. Appreciate you guys watching. Shout out to Midwest Adventure Outfitters. If you are an old school Toyota guy or Toyota anything, or you want some camping gear and need some work done, hit those boys up. Links down in the description, like it always is. Whether you're a vintage dude, you like the old stuff or the current era stuff, or you're into like the futuristic, cutting edge tech, whatever the term is I'm looking for, whatever that is, do what you love what you do, but put more positivity into the world. And if someone's doing it different than you, leave room for differing opinions. It's the American way. It's a good way to live. Enough fighting in the comments. Just do your thing and let everybody else do their thing. That is the Kumbaya speech for the day. Shout out to our channel members. There's like 107 of you guys now. I can't believe it. So stoked that you guys have decided to support the channel. Throw your names up here on the screen. And if you're watching this and you're interested in becoming a member, you want to come on a members trip. Next one is late February. We're doing one. All you got to do is scan this QR code on your screen, click the link down below, sign up, and then you'll get Slack access, GPS coordinates. You'll get information about the next trip. I do that stuff to give you guys a thank you, but at the end of the day, the people that have chosen to support my channel, most of you guys aren't coming on members trips because you're from all over the country. Most of you guys are just doing it because you, I guess, like the content and you want to say thanks. And that means a lot to me. So that's why your names are going up here on the screen. Ultimately is because I just want you to feel appreciated. And I put this little segment in every video and take the time to do it because it matters to me. I couldn't make this content if it wasn't for you guys. So thank you. And of course, to all of our channel sponsors, you guys are amazing. Links to your company websites down below. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. partnering with us. And that's all I got for this one. But more importantly, remember, the more you camp, the less deer aliens abduct.